I would like to introduce our guest speaker, who actually is not really a guest whenever you think about it, but today's program we have Mayor Bill Broderick, who is going to provide us an update on the City of Fate, which, as you very likely know, is growing leaps and bounds. So with that, Bill, come on up here and let us know.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, this should take about a minute and a half, so bear with me a second or two. First of all, let me give you just a quick, brief little history, what have you, about our little community over there. The City of Fate, at one time, at the turn of the century here, was the capital, was the cotton capital, if you will, of Rockwall County. We had 3 cotton gins there at that time. People even as far away from Hunt County brought their cotton over for processing with the railroad there. But due to a couple of world wars, a tornado, and a couple of fires that destroyed everything from one end of town to the other, the schools and so forth, what have you, in the flight, the people who left the community, things really calmed down. So at one particular point in time, how many of you know that the City of Fate used to have its own ISD? Oh, some of you, there you go, David Magnus, County Commissioner. Yeah, the last graduating class was in 1949, 1950, and the school burned down, and that's how our community ended up split, 60-40, you might say, between the Roy City ISD and Rockwall ISD. And yes, I did talk to the State Board of Education about trying to reenact that, and I was told pretty much take a hike. That doesn't happen anymore. So with that in mind, I guess I need to preempt this one heavy by saying, you know, I sat out here where you are and listened to Mayor Cecil and others talk about their communities, John Harper talking about Rowlett and hearing about Rockwall, and you know, I'm always impressed. You know, they just deal with economic development, the growth, the stores, the shopping centers, you know, I'm just taken back by all of that. So I don't want you to get bored about this little community that we have, because a lot of that is wishful thinking, and we're doing our best to prepare ourselves for that growth. We know it's coming. So with that in mind, let me just touch on a few items here. Fundamentally, when I took office here a couple of years ago, the approach that I've taken is pretty much like a developer. A developer comes in, and his primary responsibility is to clear the land, put in the streets, the lights, the water lines, sewer lines, and clear the lots and have them ready to go. When he's done all of that, then the builders come in and they buy up the lots, and then they go vertical with the house. So fundamentally, what I've been doing since I've taken office is back in that developer stage, working the fundamentals of what it takes to put together an organized or a structured city government. Again, when I took office, when have you, there was no city manager, there was no financial manager, city secretary was chief cook and bottle washer. She resigned, or retired, I should say, a month after I took office. So again, there was no structured municipal government there. Our fire department had a bunch of rundown equipment. We had a volunteer fire department. We had, fundamentally, we had no assigned police department. We were subcontracting with the sheriff's department now. So there just wasn't much structure there. So I'll get back into some of these other issues maybe a little bit later. In regards to financing, the City of Fate operates right now on a little over $5 million budget. We have, again, keeping in mind that there was no management, there was no supervision. There was a staff of some 13 people that were there that were operating this city, and most of those were just good people. To say that we're coming out of a bubble environment or something into a structured form of government or something is an understatement. There were a lot of aunts and uncles and brothers and in-laws and outlaws, who needed jobs and one thing or another, who were in positions that, they were just not really capable of being able to do the job. So all the fundamentals in regards to, I'm talking about management systems in regard to just standardized ledger entries, record retention, audits. It's all of the things that you would think would already be in place in regards to a city or something were just kind of hit and miss. When I took office, we were 4 audits behind, 4 fiscal years of audits that we're behind on. Caught a lot of flack about that. We implemented a very aggressive schedule to move forward and get those audits complete. In the midst of them, of the audit teams, bringing those audits current, bringing them forward, we discovered some embezzlement, which brought the audits to a screeching halt. They turned into an investigative mode instead of an audit mode. And it took almost a year to put all that together. And the individual that was responsible for that was charged, and she admitted to it, and has been all that's been dispositioned, and then those funds are now being reimbursed to the city. The audits, all 4 of the delinquent audits are now current, and they are now currently working on this past year with this current year's audit. The current year is up in September, so the audit team has assured me that they will have that current year audit done by before the end of the current year. So that's looking good. As most of you know, that in order to grow and develop a community or something, a lot of work gets done via passing bonds, and in order to be able to go out and seek bonds, you have to have a minimum of 3 years of current audits or something to be able to provide to an agency or to a bank or something, so that they'll give you the loans. So we're putting ourselves in a position now to be able to move forward with a lot of the major financial issues that we have. We presently have, in my opinion, we have a great management team currently set up. Our city manager, finance director, city secretary, and city planner have a combined 105 years of municipal experience. So we have experienced, trained, certified people and stuff in positions. So we're currently looking at hiring a director of public works, and that'll solidify that. There's a couple of great supervisors in that area, so I expect to see that make some headway. We've done the fundamentals as far as job descriptions. We have a salary step plan now, longevity pay. We now have medical, dental, and insurance programs that have been renewed. And so we're in a much better position to attract quality personnel. Housing is going to be a big issue. I don't know how many of you have ever visited the City of Faith. The City Hall it's an oversized phone booth. It's a cute little place. It doesn't house a whole lot of people. So we've leased a place next to the donut shop across the street. We can put a few more people and have a trailer down there, the water tower, where we can put some of the guys down there that don't mind not being in an office environment. So a new city hall is something that we're